Hi there, everybody. Welcome back to Beery Good Entertainment. This is episode 56, and I'm here with my good friend and her good friend.
My
Hi,
baby
Lola.
girl. Hey, Linda. This is Virtue. She's been typing in our notes. She had something to say. She said, that main lady was pretty. Did you know she was born in Sweden? That's what Virtue said. Virtue has this thing for Scandinavians. She's just all about the Scandinavian. Yeah. And she said David Tennant's wife is in it too, but she doesn't have a big role.
Today we're going to be talking about In the Dark and also about beer.
Yay! Beer.
My first is a shout out to Tasty Tales on YouTube. Thanks for subscribing to our channel, Tasty Tales. And in return, I'd like to plug your channel. Tasty Tales brings you the true stories of people who dedicate their lives to producing wonderful wine, beer, and spirits. They're really, it's great. And I've noticed that there's a lot of different content on there, a lot of interviews. So definitely worth a look. Let's see. And now for the beer news.
Yay!
For the beer news, I actually have to get props.
Ooh, I like props. I like beer props.
Okay.
That's always fun.
So, Keystone.
Whoa. Okay.
You lose.
Whoa.
Miller Coors lost. This is gonna go away because Stone Brewing is upset that the can looks like stone.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So they challenged it in court and they won. Good. It's just too much like stone. It's like Stone Brewing stone.
Yeah. It's like they're trying to fool people. Like, oh, someone will think, oh, I've heard of stone. That's stone.
Yeah.
I'm going to get a stone. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, here, it says, Coors Brewing Company.
Mm-hmm.
But at a glance,
it looks like stone.
Yeah. You just can't tell.
An innocent young soul could think that's a stone brewery. And we cannot have the youngsters on that path so young. I mean, they need to know the difference. No. It's just, there are too many innocents out there.
The bad news, that's the good news. Stone Brewing won their case with Miller Coors, and you can check that out at thefullpint.com on their beer news page. But the bad news is Stone Brewing has had to sell off their Berlin brewery.
But Brew Dogs is awesome.
Apparently, Stone Brewing just jumped into Berlin a little too fast. A little too fast, and they couldn't hack it.
Yeah, well, they got a lot going on. They had a course case,
Yeah, court case and everything. It's difficult, but I don't know. Maybe Stone Brewing would just, kind of stick to the United States and shipping their beers out.
Right. Just show everyone what good American beer is and let the Germans, I've heard Germans make okay beer.
Germans make great beer. Germans make really great beer. I don't know how the whole Stone Brewing in Berlin was going to work anyway. I don't know.
But just have your beer here.
Yeah. Well, here's a question especially for you.
Okay.
If Stone Brewing could win against Miller Coors, okay, how different are these?
Whoa!
How similar does that look to you? Does the lettering look equally challenging? It looks a bit similar.
Yeah. The classic lager actually looks like other things we have here, like maybe Milwaukee's Best or something.
Oh, I never even thought of that. I mean, I looked. I got these both in 7-Eleven.
I'm sorry you spent money on the Budweiser.
Yeah, it was the only way I could do it, though.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think I'm actually going to do a terrible head-to-head comparison.
Can you show me the classic lager can again? Yeah. Okay. I think that reminds me of an old Budweiser can, because it reminds me of an old can, like from the 70s or something.
Yeah, I mean, now here's where it got me. That really triggered my Budweiser kind of.
Oh, here's a picture of Budweiser where that does look like it. Hold on. I'm trying to get to the website where I'm looking at this. Oh, it's going to make me do I'm 21 stuff.
Oh, yes, I know.
All right, I'm just going to stick. Okay, I'm going to put the Google search up of what I'm talking about. Or at least I'm going to try. I put that in our notes, and I'll also put it in the YouTube notes. Hopefully it'll turn out right. Oh, I forget. Sometimes YouTube doesn't like notes or doesn't like links. Yeah. Okay, I think it probably turned out.
Now I also have the YouTube up. So if you're listening and you'd like to comment on any of this, please feel free. YouTube or Twitter. I also have Very Good Entertainment Twitter up. Now, I'm going to let you decide which is which. Do you think?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Just by looking, does it seem apparent?
I would say the one on that side is the Budweiser. I'm going to say that.
Oh, you're good. I switched around. You're good.
Oh, good. The bubbles gave it away.
And you know what? You'd instantly be able to tell with one sniff.
Yeah, I bet.
This has that sour bitter in the back of the nose, and this tastes like a very clean grain smell.
That looks very smooth. That looks very
totally different taste too. I mean, what I'm describing as the sour taste is the rice lager. Obviously,
rice.
Obviously, the classic lager is not made with rice. This is made with barley.
Good.
And Budweiser is a rice and barley malt. Barley malt drink. I'm not even going to go into the corn syrup controversy.
Yeah.
I have no idea if Budweiser uses it.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. It's the rice is what matters.
The rice isn't enough to turn me off. I don't want rice beer. I just don't.
I'm just gonna put the Budweiser over here.
Okay, get it away.
I'm sure some desperate soul in the household might try to drink it.
Yeah. Well, you don't have any pets, so
no.
They're not going to try. That'd be the only one I could imagine. Like our dog might drink it.
So, do you think? I mean, do you think actually challenging? I really think it's a challenge to Budweiser. I think it is.
Yeah.
Do you think it's enough of a challenge to make Budweiser go, maybe we should think about taking them to court?
Well, okay. How long has the classic lager people been around? Who are they?
This is Gilgamesh Brewing. Gilgamesh is one of our Oregon breweries from Salem, Oregon. So they definitely, they haven't been around as long as Budweiser, and they're definitely not producing anywhere near the amount.
Yeah.
But it does look like a direct It does.
It does. It really does, especially the older style cans. What I linked to are some images, and the bottle Budweiser. It really looks like the bottle Budweiser to me.
The producer is not pleased. I don't know why.
Is he drinking it?
Right.
Oh my goodness.
The producer says he's not pleased.
Oh no.
Because I get the nice Gilgamesh and somebody else has to drink the Budweiser.
Ooh, you should let him have some.
Oh yeah, because I'm drinking the Gilgamesh.
Oh, you were smooth with that. I didn't even notice you did that. I
put the Budweiser over on the other side of the table, and eventually somebody else is going to have to drink it. There's only one other alcohol drinking person in the household. That's the producer.
Exactly. Oh, you just sold him out.
Mm.
Well, I guess you're the host. You control the beer. Is it good?
Yeah, actually, Gilgamesh. I would really appreciate Gilgamesh if you would start pushing this in 7-Elevens. I only got 1 6-pack, and that's not enough for my summer drinking needs. I would definitely, as much as I hate to say it, I would definitely take this over the Caldera Lawnmower Lager. Absolutely, 100%. This tastes like a really classic lager. It does. This is a real success.
A good lager. I mean, there's nothing wrong with a good lager, especially on a summer day when you just want something crisp and refreshing, nothing too heavy. Lager is perfect for that.
Yes.
It's not Budweiser.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. The original Budweiser kind of, I mean, I know they've changed the color of the text and stuff. Pardon me. But I think we're going to see more challenges court-wise as, our bubble bursts and the big commercial entities really butt heads with these craft breweries. If you're bottling or canning, then taking it to the next level with the text and everything else can be really difficult. Oh, Yangling.
Yeah, that's a good point, right?
Yes.
That point.
Now Yangling only has their name on there in the text, but that also looks like Budweiser. The Budweiser script, and they definitely produce way more than Gilgamesh does.
Well, Yuengling, I mean, I don't know how long this lettering's been around, but Yuengling is like the oldest brewery in the U.S., right?
I
think so.
I'm not sure. I believe so.
I think so. Let's look. Let's see. I'm trying to find something that's not their website. Let's see what Wikipedia says.
Yuengling began in 1829 in Pottsville, Pennsylvania.
Let's see if it says. I mean, I've heard
Budweiser opened in 1876.
So Yuengling is the oldest. Mm-hmm. So if Yuengling has had similar packaging for that long, then Yuengling might could sue Budweiser. Mm-hmm.
Interesting. But those would be two big commercial entities going head to head. They're not actually, I mean, they're in competition with regards to area specific places.
Okay.
But I don't see much Yuengling over here. Not at all.
I do.
They're not competing with my Budweiser at all.
Okay. Well, over here on the East Coast, when you go, like if you go to a regular restaurant, like not a special craft beer type restaurant, you'll see Budweiser, Coors, maybe like Angry Orchard or something, but you'll see Yuenglings.
Yeah.
You'll definitely see Yuenglings.
And Gilgamesh opened in 2009.
Okay, so Gilgamesh doesn't stand a chance. They're going down.
Well, we can't say that because Stone Brewing isn't as big as the Miller Coors corporate, and they won their challenge. So I don't know. It could be that Gilgamesh, if Budweiser or some other brewery decided to attack Gilgamesh, it is very possible that Gilgamesh could say that they were rightfully challenging the bigger brewery.
Maybe.
I'm not sure how all the rules work, but it does look similar. And I mean, the red, the text, the fact they put classic lager on it.
They really shouldn't have done that. And I really don't understand why they would want to, because the people who are going for craft beer aren't going to be enticed by something that looks like Budweiser. So
well, let's see. 10 Barrels pub beer. They started a trend of session beers, of session lager beers. And as temperatures heat up here, people generally go for lighter beers like the lagers, rather than reds, high or highly hopped beers like IPAs. Like they'll stop drinking an IPA if it gets too hot because they just don't seem to enjoy it as much in the extreme heat that we're getting. So I don't know. This could be an enticement to steal customers from Budweiser. I certainly don't mind, but Budweiser might mind if it starts cutting into their bottom line.
Yeah, I mean, they already have challenges from the craft beer community. They're already seeing some of their profit go away from people who prefer craft beer. They might not like the idea of a craft brewery trying to take their general beer.
That's true. They're flagships.
They're flagships, exactly. Leave my flagship alone.
I have noticed Budweiser starting to put their copper lagers in bigger packages. Like they started it out only with specialty 6-packs. Now it's gone to 18 packs. Okay. So they are obviously feeling the sting of the craft industry and and if they did put the copper in a big enough pack at the right price point, the copper lager is actually pretty nice. I might buy it because the copper lager tastes it tastes like a good beer.
If it's good, it's good. I've always said that. I'm not going to stand on name.
Yeah, that's how you get me. Make it at a decent price, make it taste like a beer and not like a rice drink.
Right.
Okay.
We don't want beer sake. We want beer.
And I don't want preservative bombs either. I don't want preservative bombs that are going to give me a headache.
Me neither. I don't need that. I want alcohol bombs. And we've got Jason in the chat room.
Hi, Jason.
Hey, Jason. Jason is laughing because you said my Budweiser when you said that they're not competing. Yuengling isn't competing with your Budweiser. They're not competing with.
Well, that's just it. Is that Budweiser produces for different parts of the country. So the Budweiser that I get may not necessarily be the same as the Budweiser you get, Lola.
You've just brought it to my world. Is this like an alternate universe? Is this like Man in the High Castle? Does someone go to another universe to get the beer and bring it back? That's crazy. I mean, what else is different? Do you have a different ocean?
No, but I have different wine.
Oh, I love wine. What's that?
This is Dark Horse. This is Dark Horse Rosé. It's I started drinking this yesterday, and I found this bottle for $8 at what used to be Circle K. If I say Circle K, I apologize. 7-Eleven. It is your store now. It's your store now. We actually it's been removed off of Untapped. It's the Circle K's been bought out, so it's a 7-Eleven store. I found it at the big 7-Eleven.
Neat.
$8 for a rosé, and it's a very nice rosé.
Pretty good. And if it's a good wine, we went to my favorite pizza and wing place for lunch today, and I wanted a glass of wine, so I had a glass of wine. It was $7.50
for one
glass of wine.
Now I can understand McMenamins actually charging $6 for their glass of Black Rabbit, because their Black Rabbit is really special.
Okay.
What was the wine? Do you remember what the wine was that you got? Was it just like an Ernest and Gallo thing, or
no? It was one I hadn't heard of. It was like Saint Christina, something like that. It was a red blend.
Oh,
and all of their prices were like that. They had there was one that was like $5, but it was something I wouldn't have wanted.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, it's pricing is crazy. It's crazy.
It was rough, and I considered getting a bottle because that would have been $24. But Clint doesn't drink that at all. It would just be me.
Yeah,
and I knew that. Oh, here it is, Santa Cristina. I knew that we wouldn't be there that long, and I didn't need to be drinking a whole bottle of wine anyways. So it may actually be Italian or something. What?
Chase said that in Florida, the bud has chunks of pineapple in it.
That wouldn't be too bad. What's funny? At the pizza place, Clint had their flying Hawaiian wings, and it had little pieces of pineapple on it. It was really good.
Ooh, nice.
Very good. It was very
pineapple. Good. Pineapple and chicken. I also like pineapple on my pizza. Yes, I'm one of those.
I do too. Ham and pineapple. Hawaiian pizza.
Ham, pineapple, goat cheese, spinach, and beer.
That sounds good. I love it. Well, the pizza we had, they were advertising the ultimate pie. They said it took the chefs 2 years to come up with it, and it had a whole bunch of Italian toppings that I didn't know what they were. It turned out to be a little bit too much going on.
Yeah. Sometimes it's just a mouthful of, oh my God, what is this?
That's exactly what it was. There was something that was really like hot, like spicy, like chili almost. And I was like, do not want.
I don't mind jalapeno every once in a while. And I put jalapeno on my Subway sandwiches. But I don't know, not all the time on pizza.
Well, I've learned something about jalapeno and myself. I used to be able to eat raw jalapeno. Same thing with onions. I used to be able to eat them raw and just love it. Not anymore.
Yeah.
If I'm going to do jalapenos, it has to be pickled, like the kind you get in a jar. That's the only way I can eat it.
How about chili beers? Have you ever liked chili beers?
I do. Yes, there are a few I've liked that I've had, as long as it's not too strong. And there's chili chocolate that I've had that I liked a lot.
Oh yes, chili chocolate and salt.
Very good. Yeah, I like chili chocolate. It's very good. Very expensive, but very good.
Well, now is probably a pretty good time to switch, unless you have I have a habit of jumping. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I got a good one. I've had this one before, but I know I like it. I like it, and I hope I don't drink the whole thing. Funky Buddha, the best beer in the world.
Oh my goodness. Now this is the controversial one. This is the controversial one for me. Maple bacon. Anytime I see maple bacon in a beer, it makes me go, I don't know.
It smells like breakfast.
Really? It smells like it smells good.
It smells like breakfast.
I gotta see this then. Let's wash out the taste of Rogue from our memories with Funky Buddha.
Yeah, don't worry. Rogue is nothing compared to Funky Buddha. Funky Buddha is the best. They know how to balance their flavors, so they're perfect. I don't know what they do. I may end up drinking this whole thing.
Look at that deliciousness.
Lots of bubbles, lots and lots of bubbles, more than I would expect. Not a lot of head, but you know that's how it goes with a dense beer, especially something that's going to have maple in it, like syrup type thing. You know it's going to be heavy.
Now, where is it on the scale of the aroma with maple to bacon? Is it like a sweet
syrup?
Sweet syrup, not really meaty.
A little bit, like it's got the bacon aroma, but it's not. I mean, I don't feel like it's going to be a heavy beer. Even though I smell syrup, I don't think it's going to be like sickly sweet.
Yeah,
but they've really got the aroma. I mean, it smells like syrup and bacon.
And have you had this before?
I have, and I remember I liked it. That's why I was so excited to get it again. Very smooth, very filling. Not weak at all, not watery, but not too thick. It's not like, you know, I'm going to throw up or anything. Just really well made. I definitely got the maple. It's almost like they got the essence of maple and put it in there. It's so good. It's very good. I really like it.
Oh, it actually sounds so good. Like I'm just like,
salivating. It's really excuse my cat's butt. Come on.
It looks rich when you pour it in the glass. It looks rich. It's very. Is it as dark as it looks on the? Super dark.
It is. It's very dark. Makes me wonder if they put like syrup in it or something. But it doesn't taste syrupy. It doesn't taste like you went to McDonald's and got a big thing of syrup and put it in there.
It's possible they put it in there, or I don't know how they might have.
It's really good. I mean, it's almost like I can taste the syrup even on the top of the beer, even like before I truly like swallow it. Yeah, it's right there on the second I touch it, I get maple. I mean, it totally embodies the beer. It is maple centric.
So where does the bacon come in? I mean, is it like the texture thing, or?
Not really. It's like if you have maple bacon, you get that little bit of a seared taste.
Yeah,
a little charcoal kind of. That's how I describe it. It's kind of like the charcoal from when you sear the bacon. That's what you get. That's what it tastes like.
That is excellent.
Yes,
excellent. Good going, Funky Buddha.
Yay, Funky Buddha. Buddha.
Now we can switch modes. Now we get to talk about In the Dark, which is a 2017 dark murder mystery series starring, and I really hope I get this name right.
I have no idea how to say her name.
Mianna Beering as D.I. Helen Weeks. Mianna is a Swedish actress who actually grew up in the Middle East, and then she returned to London to study acting. She's known for Kill List, Twilight, and is currently in production for The Witcher, coming to Netflix. I'm looking forward to The Witcher.
I have not heard of that. What's that about?
I'm not actually sure. It's. I mean, I've only seen these brief things that they've put out. But it's it almost looks like a vampire series. And I can't find any shots of Mianna as the character that she's playing. But I assume as they continue to shoot, more will come out.
Yeah, I would imagine. I was wondering if her hair was really red. I did an image search and I see some pictures of her with blonde hair. Yeah,
I'm not sure. I mean, so I mean, they start out with her returning to her home. She's a DI. She returns home to support a friend who her friend's husband has been accused of killing one of two girls that disappeared.
Yeah.
And I don't know about the hair. When they recorded like earlier, like the character early on had flaming red hair.
Yep. Yep.
But later on, as we see Helen older, the red is like tamed down. I didn't see a whole lot of red. It was red, but not like flaming red like when she was younger.
Yeah, I've noticed that with shows, if they have someone who's older who even has sort of red, even if it's like strawberry blonde hair, when they cast them younger, they have this bright red hair. I'm always like, they probably didn't have that bright hair when they were young. Like,
well, I'm not sure. I mean, I started as a little child. I started out with absolutely blonde
really?
hair. Yeah, when I was like 5 years old, I had blonde hair. After I got pregnant, it turned black.
Okay, now that's different.
And now it's, this dusty, darker, spotted with gray, obviously. Dusty, darker kind of brown.
Okay.
So hair can change.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if they meant that to happen.
I don't know. Well, I was wondering about blonde hair because when I think most Swedish people that I've seen have blonde hair, not all of them, but most. And I looked at Google image search for her, and there are a lot of pictures of her with blonde hair.
Mm-hmm.
That makes me think maybe she originally had blonde hair, but maybe not. We don't know. But you know who she reminds me of in this show?
Who?
The new Doctor Who.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
The haircut and the accent. She's got that cute northern accent. She really reminds me of her. I've already forgotten the new Doctor Who's name. I can't remember. Jodie Whittaker. There it goes. It just popped in. Yeah, so she reminds me of her, which is neat.
Well, episode 1 is all about, this poor friend's husband being, and so so Helen is pregnant, but the baby may not actually be her boyfriend's because she apparently had a fling with someone else.
With another police officer.
Yeah. And I got confused. I didn't know. It was unclear to me who the boyfriend was and who the other guy was.
I'm still confused. Even in the 3rd episode when they did a time jump, I'm still confused about which one was originally her boyfriend, which was the fling.
Okay, so the original boyfriend, totally the red, all like red beard, red hair. And yeah, red beard. That is the
original boyfriend.
That is the original boyfriend.
That's OB, original boyfriend.
OB, yeah.
That's OB.
And the fling had a darker beard.
Okay. I remember the fling was really like almost stalkerish, like, oh, I love you. I want to be with you. We can make it work. I want to be in the baby's life. And it's like,
yeah.
You're harassing her.
And the whole thing at the pub with the weird friend.
Like, you might have to help me remember.
So she goes to this, she goes to this pub after, after a whole day of like being with a friend, she's just like, okay, I need like space. So she and the boyfriend go to a pub where they are literally like accosted by this old friend of Helen's.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, Helen. And I'm like, dude, her friend is like going through all this crap and you're just like, oh, we should go out for a drink and you should come over and I'll make you lunch and blah blah blah. And I'm like, dude, you're a creepy friend.
Yeah, that was pretty creepy.
That was not an appropriate time, and everybody in that place knows who is accused of what. You can't tell me nobody knows.
I'm quite sure they all know.
Yeah. In that place. That was good writing, but
I thought
it was cringy.
Yeah, sometimes it was cringy.
Yeah. And that was where we get our first flashback, too.
Yeah.
Very important to the rest of the storyline. All it is Helen as that young girl with the bright red hair and another girl with black hair. I didn't know that was the friend. I was like, Helen's with this other. Oh, she's younger. Is this a flashback? They don't make it apparent it's a flashback.
I know. You just have to assume.
This is a flashback, and who's she with? And why are they crying? Why are they running? Like,
did I switch the channel?
Yeah, I know. Did I switch the channel? What's going on? And then it ends. Like episode 1 is right. And I'm like, okay, now I have to watch episode 2.
You have to watch episode 2 because you got to figure out who those girls are and why are they crying and what's going on.
And one girl's dead and one girl's still missing.
Yeah.
That's how episode 2 starts. With one girl dead, one girl still missing. And the DI still pregnant.
Yep, definitely.
And this is where I started to question who's the boyfriend here, and is the boyfriend actually on this case? He starts doing weird stuff. Like, he starts questioning people, but I don't know if he has the authority to. Did you remember that?
Yeah, I mean, I got the sense that they both worked at the same police precinct, so I guess he would have the authority to question people.
But this wasn't their precinct, and they weren't officially on the case.
Yeah, that's right. Because I remember because at the very beginning of the series, she sat down with the boss and said, I'm going to take some leave and I'm going to go visit an old friend or whatever. So she was technically on vacation this whole time.
Yeah.
I guess he was just tagging along.
Yeah, the boyfriend was just there because.
Just keep an eye on her.
I don't know. That's a little creepy too, isn't it?
That's a bit much, yeah. And then I'm still not happy about the way he reacted when she told him everything.
Yeah, I know.
That broke my heart.
I was like, wow, she needs to get a serious grip before she does herself like serious damage. And in the pub with that crazy ME guy, the medical examiner guy that they called him at the friend. Is he gay?
I don't know.
Because he got in a fight with another guy. I don't know why. Like that was horrible writing right there. It was so confusing. They're at the pub. This guy walks by all aggressive. And the medical examiner guy, in the middle of his explanation, gets up, follows him to the bathroom, and all of a sudden the next shot we see is him with a bloody nose.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, there's no explanation for it at all. I'm like, that just didn't fit. It looked like, here, we need 20 seconds. We'll stick this violent little scene in here without showing the violence or explaining anything.
I guess people like fisticuffs. We got to get some fisticuffs in.
Yeah, and not explaining whether this is this guy gay and maybe propositioned him or I
don't know. Guess keep us guessing. Guess that's what they're trying to do.
We did learn a whole lot more about the poor girl that got killed.
Yeah.
So the body was found burned.
Ugh.
But this is where I really actually started to get into it because they went into almost like bones. They started going into the details of, well, the body was burned, but it wasn't really burned like a lot. So the guy wasn't serious, though, the guy or whoever it was, wasn't serious about burning the body. And it was obvious that the body had been killed before it got dumped.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So it was only burned enough so that they could put insects in it. I know, it's gross, and I like the grody stuff.
And that's just like bones. You know, my mother loved bones.
Really?
True story. One time I was watching a horror movie, and I was eating, and my mother said, "How can you eat while you watch those movies?" And I was like, "I don't know, whatever." And then another time we were watching Bones. We were eating dinner and we were watching Bones, and Bones opened the refrigerator and there was a decapitated head in there. And I went, "Ew, I'm eating." And my mother said, "Oh, that doesn't bother me. I was a nurse." So she's wondering why I can watch horror movies while I'm eating, and she's watching that without even batting an eye. I'm like, "Mama, that's disgusting." She didn't even understand really why I was bothered. She was like, "It's just
a head.
Severed head. It's no big deal. I'm just gonna keep eating much. Like, oh." So yeah, my mother loved that stuff.
See, now I'm not bothered by, like, you know, like they showed the burnt body and they showed the insects. That doesn't bother me. I'm interested in, well, how do they know the insects were from there? You know, maybe the insects, and they did explain that the insects were not from there. They were dumped in the carcass after the body was burned and opened to make sure that they got in there. I love that stuff. I absolutely love that stuff. But here's the caveat. If you even intimate violence toward an infant, I'm out of there. Absolutely no. I will not even consider thinking about it. Nope, done, click.
You know, I had a hard time. Game of Thrones did that, and I had a hard time with that, and I won't watch that episode again. It still made me so sick. I mean, that was part of the show. That's why you're supposed to hate Cersei and Robert Baratheon and everything.
Yes. That's why you're supposed to hate those characters. Happy did that too. They didn't show it, but they intimated it, and I'm not sure if I can go back to it.
It's really bothersome to me. I don't like anything violent about children or elderly people. Everyone in the middle is fair game. If you're an adult, young adult, middle age, whatever. But elderly people and children, I can't handle it. It's too much.
The most vulnerable populations.
Yeah, it's very bothersome to me. I have a hard time.
Yeah, now, and we also start learning, is this, I think, let me check my notes. I think episode 2 is, so episode 2 is where we actually discover why the flashbacks are happening.
Yep.
And it was because she was abused.
Both her and the friend sexually abused.
Well, originally it was just her, and she was trying to protect her friend.
Oh. I thought, she said she was trying to protect her friend and her sister. And I thought she said that she did protect her sister, but she couldn't protect her friend.
Oh, okay. I might have messed that up. Okay. So she was actually able to protect the sister.
That's what I got.
Oh, okay. Okay. So it's just her and the friend, and that's why we see them. That's why we see them both crying.
Yeah, and I got the idea that's why Helen left, because Helen didn't like being back to her hometown. And in fact, they said that at the beginning of the series, the boss or whoever, the boyfriend or someone said, "Why are you going back there? You hate it there."
Yeah. Well, we didn't know why she hated it until then. She explained everything to the boyfriend just before she told him the baby might not be his.
He confessed.
And, well, I mean, I can't blame him for his response. But, like, was it like, then they showed her like 6 months on. She is way pregnant then. And, and he's like, "Well, I can't even look at you right now." Like, dude, he keeps making snide remarks to her about the baby.
It may not even be mine.
Yeah, and I started to hate him. I really just started to think, well, he doesn't belong with her.
And I mean, normally I would be in the corner of the person who is cheated against. No, I mean, I don't like infidelity. I think it's hurtful, and it's, you're betraying someone. But in her case, she was being honest. She told him, I mean, the unthinkable happened to her. The most horrifying thing, or at least one of the most horrifying things that can happen to a child. She was sexually abused. And because of that, she's never been able to have control over herself sexually, I guess. I don't know what a nice way to say it, but she's not in control of what she does. And she admitted it following that she had an affair. And I get that he's upset. I would be upset too, but that should be mitigated by what she just told him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I understood. I wasn't mad at her. She was mad enough at herself. She was punishing herself enough that I didn't want to be mad at her.
In her head, a man telling her she had to have sex was she had to have sex with him.
Yeah. And there are some people, when they've been sexually abused, they don't know how to interact with a person without it being sexual.
Yeah.
That's just one of the ways that they interact with people in general. And they don't know the line between just being normal with someone, being a friend to someone, just being with someone and being sexual. They don't know that line.
Yeah,
it's all mixed.
The relationship automatically has to turn into the sexual, and this is not rape apology. Rape is a different subject.
Oh.
It's, they think that, the relationship automatically has to be about sex.
Yeah. And that's one of the things that is a result of sexual abuse. And it's awful because those people, they don't know how to separate different types of relationships.
Yeah.
They don't, especially if the abuse was from like a parent figure, they don't know how to just have a loving, non-sexual relationship with somebody.
Yeah.
And it's very sad.
And definitely what happened to Helen was rape.
Mm-hmm.
It was rape of her body, and it was rape of her mind, and it affected her. She definitely needed some seriously psychological help after that. Yeah. It's obvious she never got it.
Well, some people are fiercely independent like that, especially since, she probably has that kind of cop mentality that we think of,
yeah,
fiercely independent. I don't need a shrink. I don't need anyone in my head. I'll be fine. Yeah. A lot of people try to cope on their own.
Yeah. But they did manage to figure it all out, though. Mm-hmm. They figured out who the killer was.
Yep.
And I'm not going to spoil it by telling everybody who the killer was, even though it's in the show notes. If you read the show notes, it actually is in the show notes.
Yep. Yeah.
Be aware. I'm really concerned that neither she nor her boyfriend called in any backup when they went and confronted the guy who was holding the girl. Just ran straight in there. She's pregnant, and she ran straight headlong into danger.
I'm like, well, she's ready to go. Nothing's holding her back.
No, but it really concerns me because, now I'm wondering where her mind is. It's obvious that she's so work oriented now. Mm-hmm. I don't feel like this was for her friend, even though it exonerated her friend's husband. Mm-hmm. Now, the friend's husband also stayed in a bit of trouble because he himself had an affair with, well, kind of had an emotional affair with a 16-year-old.
Well, he says nothing happened, but of course people are going to say nothing happened. Oh, well, yeah?
She insisted, look, nothing sexual happened because we were waiting.
Okay.
But, it's so creepy.
Still gross.
Dude, that still calls for divorce, kick out of the house, spy, sucker, see an alimony court.
Exactly. Still gross.
Yeah. And that was the end of episode 2. They actually caught the guy. And that was the end. At the end of this episode was where the boyfriend told her he couldn't even look at her.
Yeah, and he had effectively broken up with her. I assumed they were going to stay broken up because he seemed like he was done.
Yeah, I assumed it too. But episode 3 shows them living together, and she's trying to get him to agree to move into a house.
And she's 9 months pregnant, so we had a little bit of a time jump.
Yeah, I think for like 6 months to 9 months. Yeah.
Yeah. And she's saying, well, you've been saying you want to look at houses, and he's hedging. He's like, oh, but we can't afford it, blah, blah, blah. So he's backing out a little bit. He's paying her lip service. So I could tell he kind of wanted out.
Yeah, and at the end of the argument, he did that whole snide routine again where the baby might know, well, the baby's coming and,
I don't even know if it's mine.
We hope it's mine.
Yeah, if he was going to punish her that every day of their lives together, he should have just left.
Yes, I agree.
Should have just stayed away.
But she obviously still couldn't move on at this point. She probably felt enormously vulnerable,
I'm sure
all alone, except for her sister.
Yeah. She didn't really seem to see her sister that much.
No, but her sister did show up at her house and obviously had a key because she got in the house.
Yeah. Well, if I had a sister, I'd give her my key if we're on good terms.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're on good terms, you might, because they aren't married. I mean, obviously, I wouldn't go giving a family member my key now. I have my husband to depend on. Okay. I don't know. This guy was. Well, I was originally thinking that he deserved to get run over by a bus.
Yeah.
It wasn't a bus. Close.
It was a car.
He got run over by a car while he was waiting for a bus.
Which is kind of sad. That's kind of rough. It's like, man, you're having to take city transit and then you get run over.
But he wasn't even supposed to be there. He wasn't working. He wasn't doing anything like official. He was doing something on his own, and we have no idea what he was doing. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I think maybe they rewrote it after the backlash of the first 2 episodes. I don't know. Because it seems strange that he'd be introduced in this fashion and kind of be part of the cast and then just get killed.
Yeah, it was weird. He got killed really quickly.
Yeah, were they like pulling a George R. Martin thing on us?
Maybe, don't get used to this character. Maybe they knew that we were confused about which one was which, so they wanted to make it easier.
Yeah, and of course that other guy now jumped right in. Well, I'll always be there for you.
Creepy. She didn't ask you to be there. Oh, so creepy.
So creepy.
She shouldn't have ever let him in. She should have closed her doors to him.
Shouldn't have even told him.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. Although I guess he would have figured it out. You mean about the pregnancy? That he might be the father?
I don't know if he'd figure it out. Obviously,
he might
figure out.
He might have questions. Yeah, he might be like, "So, how pregnant are you? Like, when was it conceived?" Let me check my calendar. Oh, that was the night you and me. Oh, okay.
But even at that, you know, she could have just, unless she was concerned that the boyfriend was, she intended to tell the boyfriend all along. So unless she intended for, you know, in case the boyfriend left, she could lean on this other guy. Well, but no, she's not.
She's not what?
She's not depending on this other guy because she told him to F off.
Yeah, I don't think she's depending on him. I think she wants him away because he's creepy.
Yeah. I don't think we've seen the last of him, though.
No, probably not.
I think he's really going to come back in and start demanding some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what I really do like about the series itself is that, like, a case takes about 2 episodes.
Yeah. It's not like some shows where the whole series is dedicated to one case and you're like, come on, for goodness sake. I hate that.
Yeah. Now she has, I think this whole thing, this whole case is going to be about what her boyfriend Paul was into. I
think so too. I think there's so many questions about him. And she can't just let it go. She can't.
Yeah.
That's funny because it actually reminds me a little bit of another show that I started watching on PBS called Mrs. Wilson. And it's based on the true story of Ruth Wilson's grandmother. And Ruth Wilson plays her own grandmother and helped develop the series.
Oh.
And in the series, it's about a woman in the 60s, and her husband dies. And shortly after her husband dies, a woman shows up on the doorstep saying, no, I'm Mrs. Wilson.
Oh, snap.
And so I've only watched one episode, but the Mrs. Wilson, the one we're following, she can't let it go. In fact, people tell her, why can't you let it go? He's dead. Take care of you. You've got 2 grown sons. Just enjoy life. Just sit at home and just let it go. And she won't let it go. She's determined to find out what he was up to.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that is definitely going to be like the whole story arc for the next for episode 4.
Yep.
And it definitely has something to do with serious drug trade because they brought in more characters. They brought in a black guy, and he joins, I think out of desperation, he joins this group that is selling drugs. And they have a system for distribution that involves like 3 separate other people. So nobody goes to the exact place at the exact time. And like the money is handled in a specific way, so it's always safe.
Yeah.
But somebody's treading on somebody's territory because when this guy shows up to work one day, the head drug guy has the back of his head blown off.
Yep. Well,
he flips out because he's got a girlfriend and a baby.
Mm-hmm.
So they have to get rid of their own guy. This gang has to get rid of their own guy.
That was harrowing.
Yeah, I thought that was a little bit ridiculous.
That was rough. It's like, whoa, they got rid of the evidence, even though they didn't kill him.
Exactly, because they didn't want to be linked to him.
But keep in mind, though, what's going on now really has nothing to do with the drugs. They were the young people in the car that shot at the lady.
That's true. That's true. The guy who is the black guy, they were told to drive by this woman, and we have no idea why, and shoot at her. Now she got barely nicked, but it was enough for her to swerve and plow into the bus station, to plow into the bus thing.
Yep.
Was it on purpose to try to kill Helen's boyfriend? I mean, did they actually aim for her to make her swerve? Why didn't they just shoot at the boyfriend themselves if that was it?
I don't know. Maybe, he's a cop, and if you kill a cop, it's way, way worse than killing a civilian. I mean, it turns into a whole nother level. So maybe they wanted it to look like it was a byproduct of another crime.
That's true. That's true. I mean, she seems like she has absolutely no effect on anything. Like, she's totally such a side character. It was like, Plink mosquito character. Like, she has nothing to do with anybody. She has no power, no links. I don't even know what she does.
She gets shot at and runs over people.
Yeah, that seems like that's her entire purpose. I don't think she has anything else to do with it. But it seems kind of weird that you'd shoot at a car at a specific time, hoping that they would turn in the direction of the bus stop in order to kill a cop.
I've seen the end, so I saw the 4th episode.
See, I've only gone to episode 3, so this is as much as I and our viewers are going to get out of us.
Mm-hmm.
We have to watch more. I'm going to watch more. I am totally going to watch more. I want to know. Good. I want to know what the boyfriend had to do with all of it.
Uh-huh.
I want to know how the baby is and what Helen's going to do with. What is Helen going to do with this baby? She is so wrapped up in her work. What is Helen going to do with this baby? Is she going to keep it?
That's a good question. Well, I mean, she's got some family. Maybe her parents will help. Maybe her sister will help. She's gonna have to get babysitting or something.
I also want to know about the black guy, because he seems like essentially a good person who was pushed into a terrible situation. What about his girlfriend and the baby? The girlfriend knew right off the bat. Oh, what have you done now?
Yeah,
you ain't got yourself into something, and this woman is going to grow up to be the what we think of as the big badass black woman. She is going to go through this. She's going to come out stronger in the end, and people are going to be frightened of her.
I hope so.
She has an extremely strong personality. Mm-hmm. I'm hoping we see more of her. I would like to see more of her.
Yeah, and I hope she doesn't let this destroy her, because I mean, she's going through a lot.
Yes.
And, I like that kid. I feel for him, because I'm sure in some cases like that, when you live in like a big housing tenant like that, you feel pressed to go into these gangs. You feel, I mean, and in some cases, if you don't go into the gangs, you probably become targeted.
Yes. Because you live in the area, and they consider you, property. You need to help support us.
Yeah, and they know where you live, and if you're not going to help them, then they may retaliate.
Yeah, obviously, if you're not with us, you're against us.
Right? So I feel for him, because I'm sure he felt like he had no choice. He felt trapped, and that's the thing with those housing tenants.
Yep. Now, I hate to say it, I liked Happy Valley better.
I get that. Happy Valley was better, because Happy Valley, you know what? You felt so much for the main character of Happy Valley. Mm-hmm. You felt so much for her. She'd been through so much, and yet she always had this amazing strength.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because, well, first of all, we've seen more episodes of Happy Valley, so we're more familiar with her. We feel like we know her better.
That's very true. Maybe I shouldn't make a judgment call based on just this.
Well, and it's also different in that it's a little more relaxed. Happy Valley, it's not quite as thrillerish and as dire. Mm-hmm. And Happy Valley, it's a small town. Everyone knows everyone. It's not, you don't have the hard housing tenant type story like this, gangs and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, I think they spend more time on character development in Happy Valley, because it's as much about the characters as the mystery. Whereas in the dark, it's really, I mean, you have your pretty much standard characters, DI this, DI that, and it's more about the case. in the dark. So they're different. But I like Happy Valley better too.
Now, you wouldn't happen to know what the difference is between a DI and a street beat cop over there, would you?
DI is detective inspector. There's detective sergeant. There's probably more that I'm missing.
In Happy Valley, it seemed like Catherine wanted to be a DI, but she was.
You're forgetting. She had been a detective.
That's right. Oh, you're right. Oh, I totally forgot that.
Yeah, but then when her daughter got sick, or when her daughter started, what was it? Was it when her daughter? It's when her daughter died. When her daughter died, she made the choice to come back to the small town to take care of the grandson.
And the only thing available to her was a street beat cop.
They don't even have detectives in that small town.
Okay, that's why she seemed like a detective.
But she was.
But she kept jumping to all these conclusions, and it was it was obvious that she was this she's a really tough character, but I forgot she had been a detective.
Yeah. So I mean, and she still has that in her blood, even if she's a beat cop, it's still there. And beat cops, they're in the town. They're on the street level. So in some cases,
they're much more familiar with the people who live there than just the DIs are.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, I guess it depends, but in general, I would say the beat cops, they're more entrenched in the culture.
Yeah.
So maybe they have a better handle of what's going on at the street level.
Street level.
The mean streets of Happy Valley. Happy Valley.
God. Happy Valley.
I mean, it's such a nice sounding thing for such a sad story.
It is, until you watch Happy, and then the term happy changes its
never happy. I haven't watched that show yet, but I can only imagine.
Yeah, Happy's not happy at all.
It doesn't seem happy. It seems rough.
But Happy Valley wasn't necessarily happy either.
No, there were a lot of dark storylines. She went through hell. She had a very hard life, and thank God Tommy finally got his comeuppance, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, and I like it that they're actually putting these women in these positions and telling their stories. This is really good, and I'm seeing more and more of these come out all the time with women detectives and women cops and everything. It's very nice to see it.
Yep. And Che, huh?
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
That's okay. Che is saying, yep, if you're not like them, you're different from them and not accepted. Toxic masculinity is a big problem in those areas. I would say so. In those big housing tenants where this gang-related stuff, they're always trying to prove themselves.
Yeah.
I'm bigger than you are. I'm better than you are. I'll pop a cap in you, whatever. I just sounded incredibly white right there, but you know what I mean.
Well, we are white. I'm white and pretty much, between the middle and lower class.
Yeah, me too.
I've never lived in those areas.
Me neither.
So I don't know. Necessarily. All I know is what I have heard and the media stories, and stories told to me by people who do live there.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. I don't anticipate I'll ever move to those areas. But I'd like to see those areas go away, become far more improved, that these people feel safe. And these people don't feel like they have to turn to dealing drugs in order to survive.
I would like those places to be better patrolled.
Yeah, well, I'd like for them to feel like they had an option other than dealing drugs.
Yeah.
So that the actual drugs themselves kind of go away. That'd be nice. That'd be really nice. I'm privileged enough so that I don't experience that.
No, and I never have. I mean, I've lived places that were near those places.
Yeah.
Enough. Yeah. But I've never been.
We're still on the other side of the tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've lived right next to the tracks.
Yeah.
But never quite on the other side. Yeah. I'm like right there.
Well, before we go on with entertainment news, I'm going to grab another I think I'm going to grab another one. I could have swore I had it here. I think I'm going to have to go to the refrigerator and grab it.
Okay.
I'll be right back. Sorry.
Okay, that's fine. And I'll just say that show we've been talking about is on BritBox. That's one of those services you pay like $5.99 or something a month, and you get access to a library of British TV shows. It's a mixture of stuff from BBC and ITV. And if you want, you can hook it onto your Amazon, which I did. So I watch it through Amazon. I also do Acorn, which is another British one. So I got a lot of stuff. And sometimes I'm still like, what am I going to watch? I don't know. Sometimes I get paralyzed. But that's how I found this show. I was just looking through. I was like, oh, female detective. I like that. Okay. I'm talking to a chair. I keep half expecting the chair to move. Like turn toward me. Hello, chair. Hello. It's turned its side to me. Oh, it's turning. The chair moved.
Aha. Here I am.
Okay.
I found it. I found it.
You found it.
It's another Gilgamesh beer.
Oh, does this one still look like Budweiser?
Nope, not it.
Okay, good.
This is actually a charity beer. Every dollar from every 6-pack goes to Dornbacher Children's Hospital here in Portland, Oregon.
That is awesome.
Terry Porter is a fantastic basketball player and a coach from the Trailblazers here in Oregon.
Okay.
And when Gilgamesh mentioned they were making a porter, somebody got Terry Porter.
Makes sense.
So they developed the beer together and made a charity out of it. And the charity, it's still going. This was in 2016 that they actually developed this.
Oh.
Yeah. Now, I've had it before, and it's actually a very impressive porter. At for some percent, I believe it's either. Oh, I am terrible. I forgot the ABV.
I forgot to look at this one.
It's 20 IBU, but it's dark. It's
rich, that is dark.
And it's just a little bit spicy. It's not as roasty, but it's a little bit spicy.
Okay.
It smells roasty. It actually smells roasty. It's very nice.
Roasty is always good.
Well worth the amount that you pay for a 6-pack. And of course, if you'd like to make a donation directly to Dornbacher Hospital, they always appreciate it because it is the premier place in Oregon for children to go and get help for a range of problems.
Okay. Good.
Everything from heart surgery to skin disorders. They handle it all.
Good.
Incredibly competent. I've donated a few times, both money and material items.
Okay.
I gave them my old e-reader. They're really happy.
Nice. I bet the kids will love that.
Teenagers show up in there, and sometimes a parent can't be there 24 hours a day for a child who has to stay in an extended period of time. So. And not all kids can afford computers and laptops and phones.
Especially if they have so many medical bills.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, can you imagine having to pay? I mean, I think about just paying my medical bills.
Yeah.
And I'm like, imagine if you had a sick child.
Yep.
It almost feels impossible, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. Well, on to British entertainment.
One of my favorite shows we're going to talk about.
Shetland is coming back. Yay!
I love that show. I love that guy. What's that? I forget. I can't remember his name. Donald, Douglas Henshaw.
Yeah.
I love him. I'm D.I. Jimmy Perez.
Yep.
And you can tell I'm not all Scottish because my name is Perez. It's like, you can tell I'm not Scottish, but I am Scottish.
I am Scottish.
He is Scottish. He is Scottish. I love him so much.
And you can find Shetland on BritBox, but you can also purchase seasons 1, 2, and 3 on Amazon.
Good idea.
Season 4 is only available through BritBox subscription, either on the Amazon BritBox subscription or through the website BritBox subscription. And I always recommend that people go through the website BritBox.
Yep. So good. I'm so glad. And it looks like the same cast is back. Now, the other guy, not the main guy, but the other detective, the actor is actually from Shetland, which I think is really cool.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I think that's neat. It's helpful to have someone who is actually from there, because I'm sure living there is unlike living any other place in Scotland. It's so remote, so near Norway. I think, wasn't it Norway that was near? I think it was Norway.
I think so. It was pretty far. I forgot to put down when the new season is actually coming out. Ah, here we go. RadioTimes.com says Tuesday, the 12th of February. So it should have also come. It should have come out already, or is that 2020 season 5?
I don't know. Are they talking about? It's not
season. Well, okay. So I apologize to the British because what I call season, you call series.
Yeah.
Series 5 or season 5.
Okay.
It says Tuesday, 19th of March, but
it's past that.
It is. So.
Well, you know what, though? I'm looking at the tweet in here from Douglas Shintal. It says BBC One, so I think they're talking about in the UK. It started March 19th.
Oh, so it's not actually coming to BritBox until later.
That's what I think. Do you see the tweet that's in the Radio Times article from Douglas Henshaw?
Yeah.
So he's talking about BBC One, February 12th there it says February. Oh, I'm a little lost. Okay.
Yeah.
So tonight is the last episode. So it ended March 19th in the UK.
And next Tuesday, 12th of February at 9 p.m. on BBC One.
That was when it started.
So 2020. Wait, the 6-part drama. Oh, began. Oh,
that's
okay.
when it began.
It began in February.
So that's all Britain. So why isn't it talking about us? Let's see. Let's see if I can look up Shetland BritBox. Let's see if we can find anything.
And I'm only seeing season 4 on BritBox. Am I?
Yeah, I don't think it started. Oh wait. I found an article. Woo! It's a Facebook post.
Oh, really?
I'm going to put that in our chat. Yep. Let's see. It's a Facebook post. And, well, when I Googled it said more
here
than
we
Google.
go. Exclusively to BritBox in April. So sometime this month, it should be on BritBox.
Yay!
Okay, good. That's good. I don't have to wait too long.
That means I love that show. Such a good show. And I've loved the Shetland Islands. They're so beautiful. I would love to live there.
Some of the shots are just spectacular. And just getting better all the time.
Yes, so good. So nice looking. And I just love hearing him talk. I'm Jimmy Perez of the Clan Perez. Okay, I turn every Scottish person into Highlander. There shall be only one. I know.
There shall be only one detective, and I shall be him.
I am Jimmy Perez. There shall be only one.
Until Catherine comes and takes me down for my drug problem.
Oh,
no. Okay, we're starting to mix the streams here.
So hopefully sometime this month, season 5 will start for Shetland.
Mm-hmm.
And meanwhile, anyone who doesn't know what the heck we're talking about are like, what?
Yeah, Shetland season 4 is on BritBox. 1, 2, and 3 are on Amazon.
And it's not about ponies.
It's not about ponies.
It's not. Although they might have ponies. But it's not about ponies.
It's about
murder. And
I love watching stuff about murder.
I do too. I love murder mysteries.
Sometimes I wonder about myself.
Well, that's what they say about writers. You know, we can imagine anything. I think it's cathartic.
Yeah, that's true. It is very cathartic. I mean, it's not me.
Thank goodness it's not me.
Well, actors from Shetland, also from Doctor Who, Death in Paradise, Requiem, and Coronation Street are coming together to produce the brand new series of Line of Duty. This is something I have not watched. It's on Acorn.
It always stares at me when I scroll through Acorn, and I'm always like, oh, I need to watch that. I'm like, I'm not in the mood. And so I don't. So now I feel like I have to watch it if they're going to have another season.
It's about an anti-corruption squad, which is really intriguing.
Yep.
But I had to make a choice. I had to make a choice between BritBox and Acorn, and I had to choose BritBox because more stuff was on BritBox than was on Acorn at that point. But here's the thing: is that Acorn is starting to produce.
They're stepping up.
They're starting to produce stuff like Hulu started producing their own stuff, and BritBox hasn't done that yet.
I can tell you, I've watched some awesome stuff on Acorn. I really have. It pays for itself every month. Every month, I'm like, should I spend the $5.99 on this? And I find stuff that I just absolutely love. It's
really hard because it's really hard because every time I got to make that decision, I always choose BritBox.
I know. It's okay. It's hard.
But I'll still look for stuff that's on Acorn and let people know about it. Acorn having competitors out there is a good thing until we have too many of them.
Yeah.
We just
have to sell your brewery.
We just can't subscribe to everything.
Believe me, I've tried, but I can't. I mean, they're talking about this new Disney thing. I don't think I'll be able to afford it.
I am not doing that. I
already subscribed to too much.
Yeah.
Really. I really can't justify it. I still do it, but I can't justify it. We subscribe to so much stuff. I even have Hallmark. Huh?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I know. Hallmark is definitely your thing.
Yeah. I have to keep it. I don't have a choice. It reminds me of Mama.
Oh. That's wonderful, though.
I know. So every time I watch something, I think about how she would like it. Like I'm watching a series on Hallmark right now that I think she would have loved. It's called Cedar Cove.
Yeah.
And it stars Andie MacDowell. And it has a lot of the regular Hallmark actors in it. I was thinking about how she'd love the scenery because it takes place in Washington State. And, it's just beautiful. It's beautifully filmed. I just know she would have loved it.
Something to be said for certain Hallmark productions. It's heartfelt.
They are, and it's something you can watch with any family member. You don't have to worry if someone's going to drop an F-bomb or have an orgy or anything. You just don't have to worry about. Now you may have to worry about the stars bribing people, but you don't have to worry about in the shows them actually doing anything wrong. So that's good.
Now. There's something I came across today that did not occur to me. You remember in Death in Paradise, the guy who plays Officer Myers?
Is that the main guy?
No, the black guy. The really funny one.
Yeah.
He was Cat in Red Dwarf.
No.
Yes.
I did not know that. I can still see Cat's face in my mind with his hair. He looked like Little Richard. I did not know that.
Yeah, it is. It's the same guy.
How could I have not known that? Now I Googled it and I'm on their Wikipedia. I guess I should go to IMDb because you can see their pictures. Now I have to look at. I did not know that. How did I not realize that? Oh my goodness!
I only did that when I went looking for Red Dwarf, so
I would have never known that. I would have never realized that.
Yeah, Dwayne.
I hope they have pictures.
Yeah, Danny John Jules, who plays Officer Dwayne Myers. And like he doesn't look it.
Let me see. Okay, I'm trying to get it to come up. It's being mean to me. Come on. Come on. Danny John Jules?
Yes, that's him.
Huh. Well, and the weird thing is in the picture on IMDb, it doesn't look like the Red Dwarf guy.
No,
but we're talking
that was
25 years ago.
Yeah,
it doesn't look like him.
He was.
It was such a long time ago.
It was such a long time ago that he. Now maybe the recent. I have to go back and rewatch the recent episodes of Red Dwarf.
Yeah, he was in Labyrinth and Little Shop of Horrors.
Yeah,
it was a doo-wop singer, Little Shop of Horrors. I did not know that.
Really impressive, and I never realized who he was. I feel like I owe the man an apology beer.
He's a legend.
Yes,
he's one of the most recognizable people. He may be the most recognizable person besides the cyborg, whatever. He's one of the most recognizable people from that show.
Yeah, I feel like I owe the man an apology beer. Danny, I owe you an apology beer. If we ever meet in public, you can feel free to, ask me for that beer, because seriously, legend absolutely describes him.
Definitely legend. And I haven't seen any of the new ones. They're still making them.
The new ones are well worth watching. Oh yeah, you got to find the new ones. They are still as funny as the original Red Dwarf.
Awesome. Okay.
It literally is a timeless classic.
I'm remembering all the character names: Lister, Rimmer, Crichton.
Yeah. Crichton. That was the cyborg, Crichton.
Yeah, that was Crichton.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, so long. I used to watch that every Saturday night. I don't know about there, but in Savannah, every Saturday night was Brit Night on PBS. They always played British shows.
Yeah.
And my mother and I, we had a tradition. We always watched Saturday nights on PBS. That's how I saw a ton of shows. I just loved it.
And the British TVplace.com this month put out an article. If you're still looking for British entertainment on your TV channels, now I'm a cord cutter, so it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
If you're still looking for on your TV channels, go to the British TVplace.com, and they have British TV premieres on local public television stations. Midsummer Murders will actually be on Oregon Public Broadcasting. I think that's
I love it. The season 15. I love that show. It's been on for 25 years or something. I love that show. But they're playing season 15, and they're actually they have season 20 now. Yeah,
there are a bunch of other shows, so you can check out. All the channels that are available, where each show and where it's playing, in what state and what channel.
That's pretty cool.
That is really awesome.
I have to remember that.
That Merca is playing the Brits.
Yeah, we love British TV.
We do. British TV is fantastic.
It is fantastic. Unforgotten season 3. My mother liked that. The funny thing is, I did the first page of the British TV Place, and it's talking about Unforgotten season 3.
Yeah,
that's one of those shows I started to watch it, and I just wasn't in the mood, because it's it's one of those I don't want to say dour, but, you know, standard detective shows. And sometimes they can be too gritty for me. And I just wasn't in the mood, so I didn't watch it, but Mom watched it. And this season 3 is coming back to PBS. Oh, and Killing Eve started back, and I still haven't finished the first season. Killing Eve is really good.
Midsummer Murders is the one that occurs just in that one town, isn't it?
Well, it's a county, Midsummer County.
Oh, the Midsummer.
So they have like
everybody in the county is dead by now.
That's the joke. A lot of people make that joke. I mean, there have been so many people dead in those towns. How is there anyone left?
And when you move in there, don't they tell you? Oh, welcome to Murder Central.
They should. They really should. That should be a legal thing. By the way, there's a 1 in 20 chance you're going to get murdered. Just letting you know before you settle in, you or a family member.
Don't worry. We'll put it on TV.
It'll be fantastic. And they will solve your murder. Don't worry. Nothing's ever gone unsolved.
Yes.
I love that show. They've had like, I would say 3 or 4 different sidekicks for him. The DS, the detective sergeant, who's sort of the secondary guy to the detective chief inspector. They've had like 4 different guys. And one guy lasted for 6 years. And I read an article with him. And he said that when it first started, they wouldn't arrange transportation for him. So he had to take the bus because they're all in remote locations because it's supposed to be a village. So they're always on, location. So he had to take a bus. And it was long hours, like 12, 14 hours. And he would get home from the bus and barely have time to sleep a little bit. And it was miserable. But he said at some point they finally started bringing a car to pick him up. And he said he was just exhausted. He just couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah, I can imagine. That sounds like a real pain in the butt for a job. I mean.
Yeah, it is rough. I mean, it's a workhorse because it's been on for so long.
It's one thing if it's a movie and like that like, okay, for the next 2 years of my life I'm gonna have to go through this much hell in order to earn this big a paycheck. And it's worth it. But it's another thing when it's a TV series and you're like, is this ever going to end?
He said he got really sick. I mean, with the long hours and just having to be outdoors all the time, he got sick.
Yeah, all the stress. All the terrible stress, yeah.
And just being outside all the time because they're almost always in some field. So it just got to be too much. I don't blame him. I miss him, though, because he was my favorite of the detective sergeants.
Yeah. So is there anything else that you're looking forward to that I have not? I mean, I went looking for entertainment stuff.
I know there's other stuff I've watched or I'm gonna watch. Oh, there was something called Paradox that I started to watch, and I think I liked it. I don't even remember now. Yeah, and it might have been on Amazon Prime. I don't remember.
I haven't really looked intensely for British entertainment on Amazon Prime in a while. If it happens to be there, it happens to be there. You said it was called Paradox?
Yeah. Let me see. And did you find it?
Yes. BBC, yeah. Detective Flint is thrown together with Dr. King when a series of rogue images are transmitted from space into his lab. The images appear to be of a major and deadly incident, but shockingly, they also suggest it is yet to happen. It's in the future. Rebecca and her team face a race against time as they have only 18 hours to put together the clues and try to prevent almost certain tragedy.
Now, Sai said that Scannerdome talked about it a long time ago, but I don't remember that.
It is 2009.
It is 10 years old.
So Scannerdome could have easily covered it.
And I just don't remember, but I don't think I've seen it before. I started watching it. It's good so far. I like it. I like the people.
Yeah. Well, it is British, so
yeah. You want to cover it?
We can cover it.
Okay, sounds like a plan.
It's definitely Prime. I can watch it.
Yeah, I don't think there's too much to it because Wikipedia says it was canceled in 2010.
Oh, well,
so
at least there's one season.
We got one season. We can talk. I hope it doesn't end on a cliffhanger. I hate that.
Oh, yeah, I know. Then we'd have to write our own ending because, we're writers. We could do that.
Yeah.
If it ends on a cliffhanger, we'll write our own ending. We don't have to be like fancy about it. We'll just tell
people. We'll have to do that because so many things end on cliffhangers and it's so upsetting. So we'll just make our own endings.
Yep.
And they lived happily ever after. Yep. The end.
Well, if you're in Corvallis and you haven't done so yet, get your butt over to Block 15, Oyster and Beer Fest. I have no idea when this ends. It's been happening all week. It might end forever. I wish it went forever. I love oysters so much.
I like oyster beer.
I've been trying and trying, like for 2 weeks now, to find a bottle of oyster stout for our friend. I can't find it.
Yep.
I have to go searching hardcore.
You have to really look for it.
Any last messages before I go into our end of show patter?
We're trying to do this MeWe thing. Do we have a group on MeWe, right?
We do. We do have a group on MeWe. It's called Beery Good Entertainment.
And we're trying. It's hard for me to get used to it. It looks different than what I'm used to. The interface is very busy, and I have a hard time. That's okay. I'm having a hard. It's okay. It's okay. I'm just having a hard time differentiating. Like my visual cortex is like, so it's just going to take me time to get used to.
Yeah. For those who don't realize it, Google Plus is no more. So we have no presence on Google Plus anymore. So we are starting the MeWe is very good for communities. So if you find your way to MeWe, just go ahead and ask for an invite. If you can't find where we are on MeWe, please feel free to contact us on Twitter or wherever you can, and we'll send you an invite and make sure that you get there. And you can feel free to share your beers, share your British entertainment, share your thoughts on controversial subjects. We want to hear it all.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Good. That's good.
Yep. Well, if you like our content, supporting Very Good Entertainment's continued production is as easy as a click. Please visit beeryge.com and purchase through any of our affiliate links. From Amazon products to Humble Bundle games, we have plenty of ways for you to save money. Be on the lookout for special Twitter links to access British entertainment shows and sales from our favorite stores. Check us out on Twitter and Facebook as @BeeryGE, and share your favorite beers with us on our Very Good Entertainment group on MeWe. From Lola and me, we both hope that you have a lovely night and hope that you have some lovely beers. Thank you very much.
Thank you.